Hey everybody, welcome back for more Lords of Shadow, this exciting little adventure that we're on. Arsenics, man, welcome back, brother.
Why are you lying to everyone?
Well, it's going to get exciting eventually. Speaking of which, we're going to do that right now. It was mentioned in the thread that this game has a lot of extra information that it can give you in the form of a heads-up display. Well, we'll turn that on. People wanted to see it, so let's do that for part of this stage.
Agharta was once one of the greatest cities of the ancient world, but it didn't take long to fall under the onslaught of the Dark Lord. The lichens were innumerable, and the city was razed to the ground. The necromantic wars, as they were known, destroyed the advanced technologies that the Aghartians had closely guarded. Eventually the Titans fell, and then the people were massacred one by one, or were turned into beasts, subservient to their new conqueror. None now remain to tell the tale.
Wait!
Great.
Before we get into the massive amount of bullshit here, I want to point out that the song that is playing now for this level is titled Waterfalls of Agharta, and it is a remix of the Super Castlevania 4th song from the Waterfall level.
Oh, that's in the third stage, right?
Yes. It's like the massively green level at the beginning of the game, basically. It's really well done here too. That's another thing. Aside from looking great, the music here in this game, for the most part, is really well done too. Certain pieces, at least.
I do notice the really large health bar.
Yes.
Underneath your character all of a sudden.
Oh, it gets much better. I also want to point out that we're supposed to follow this lady, right? We've got this nifty little whip attachment that we've been grappling, climbing up walls and shit. Yet Gabriel, for some reason, can't climb that tiny little tower that's got all those footholds on it.
I like how you have the little rune thing underneath your health bar also.
Oh, no. That gets better too, trust me, yes. And that was just a small taste of things to come.
Okay.
You can turn on numbers for everything here. It gives you statistics on how much damage you receive, how much you dish out. It gives you enemy health bars, how much focus you gain. That's different from the little focus meter that we have under our health bar now, keep in mind. If you use light magic, you can turn on and it will tell you how much health you gain. Fuck, I hate this. And it tells you how much experience you gain, and the numbers are fucking huge, by the way. And they're right in the middle of everything.
Yeah. I don't understand why this is a thing.
Honestly, neither do I. I mean, I can understand, like, the enemy health bars to a certain extent. Because, yeah, okay, fine, that's cool. It lets you know how much health the enemies have left. But everything else is just massively fucked up, man. It's overkill. Also, when you get full focus, it spins to give you another distraction.
In case you couldn't tell, you stupid player, you have full focus. Go get some magic.
Well, and the thing of it is that instead of doing like the smart thing, okay, if you want to turn on all these minor little heads-up displays, that's cool. But take away the massive normal ones, you know? Don't leave those up there as well. What's the point?
Well, your eyes may be in a different place. You can't just take in all this information at once. I mean, come on.
Yeah, Lords of Shadow is just so fucking complex.
These numbers are pretty bad.
They are. I'm going to be honest, I'm not even going to try and leave anybody in suspense here. I think I last a little over halfway through this level before I finally got sick of this shit and had to turn them off.
What are you doing to the Lycans?
Believe it or not, before this playthrough, I had no idea that your dodge roll on some of these minor enemies will actually knock them over if you dodge roll into them. So that's a nifty effect, and it actually does damage to them, I think. Minuscule, but still.
I hope at one update you'll try to kill an enemy just by rolling into them over and over again.
I'll pick the hardest fucking boss and kill him with nothing but dodge rolls. Oh yeah.
The Lords of Shadow stand no chance against the acrobatic prowess of Gabriel Belmont.
Well, he's got to be good at something. I mean, come on.
At being clumsy, yes.
Well, something other than that. I don't know if I would call that a good talent.
I was just about to say, you said things happened. We summoned, I think, what was its name? Anima? Final Fantasy X?
We'll refer to her as that. Sure, why not?
Alright, anything else going on?
Well, that's a relevant plot device that comes up in, I think, the stage after next. But we don't really need to worry about that too much for now. Now we just need to try and follow the little acrobatic lady.
Oh, we're doing this again.
Oh yes, we're fighting another warg, of course. The thing of it is, these little glowing platforms here that we can't jump across, well, we can solve that by mounting the warg.
I said it was cool, but now it just seems forced. Like, you only can mount, like, when you need to, it seems.
That's essentially how the game uses this. There are no just arbitrary mounts at all. That's what I think I mentioned this in the last update. If you see the opportunity to get a mount, you probably need to use it somewhere down the line, so you may as well just go ahead and do it. The warg is probably my favorite of the mounts, though. I mean, he can dash like that, which also run into the enemies like that, and he's pretty much just the most versatile of them all.
Well, I didn't tell you that you could jump over the gap after you did it.
I don't know. Tutorial lag, it's... Honestly, Arsenix, do you really expect this game to be well thought out at this point?
Well, not really, no. Especially after the introduction to this level, but hey.
Come on! It's foreshadowing, man. It's like the opening prologue of the game, you didn't tell you shit, it just kind of threw you into the middle of it.
But no one said a word!
Well, actually, not to spoil anything else, but that's part of the gimmick of that lady as well. To be discussed later. Also, I wonder if you've noticed that when you turn on your light shadow magic, you also get a small heads-up display underneath Gabriel that you can turn on.
I did notice.
It's just in case you didn't notice the huge fucking meters on the side of the screen, we'll put one right in the middle.
Like, I'm kind of shocked of how much worse the game looks with all these meters and numbers going up everywhere.
It's really the only one that I find somewhat useful would be to like turn on the enemy health bars, because sometimes they can get behind some of the objects in the levels, and you can't see them. But the health bar, it doesn't matter if they're behind anything or not. You can always see that, so that would kind of be useful. But that's not that big of a deal. I mean, there's hardly anything where there's enemies that are just like playing Solid Snake against your ass, so it's not really hardly anything worth turning on at all.
Well, to be fair, all the enemies sneak up on Gabriel pretty well.
True. Okay, maybe you've got a point there.
Like, he needs some sort of awareness to help him out.
Sure, actually I hadn't looked at it like that, but you're right, that's a fairly decent point.
I hope it happens again at some point.
I'm pretty sure it does. You can pretty much bet on that. Okay, yeah, here we go. I gave up on this shit.
Oh, you wimp.
I pussed out. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everybody in the thread. It's all I could take.
That's what I think of. Your gaming skills of huge, obnoxious numbers.
Oh, come on. Tell me that was not some interesting shit. Don't you feel, like you know the mechanics of the game even better now?
I guess.
Just roll with it, man. I think that's what they intended for you to do anyway.
I actually think they really wanted you to play with those numbers and health bars all over the place. They don't think much of you.
Well, that's obvious. I mean, here we are. We're halfway through Chapter 2, and we're still getting these massive, tutorial prompts and shit. Of course they don't think much of you.
Oh, okay, so...
We are almost done with this, thank God. This is pretty much, Mount the Gimmick level, essentially. As if the last level wasn't. That's what these two levels here are, the last level in this one. It's basically just showing off every mount in the game because they're hardly ever going to use it again.
Jesus Christ. It's could have been done so much better. So much better.
Oh yeah. And speaking of which, I know in the last update I mentioned some buggy AI. Well, prime example.
I just climbed up here to get some food. Stop it.
I eventually noticed he wasn't attacking me, and I don't know what it was, but apparently he just decided to take a coffee break there because he jumped back into it later, but right back to the edge he goes, so fuck it.
I think it was because you had him pressed against the wall, invisible wall, and he had no idea how to handle it.
Much like me, actually. Yeah, there's really nothing else interesting about this part of the level. You get on the warg, you ride him over, you jump the gap, it's all cool. There is a rather well-hidden upgrade here. Right here, actually. Instead of jumping over, you have to kill your warg, and you can actually go through here and get a shadow gem. Thrilling, right?
I'm kind of struggling to think of something to say to this.
There's really not much to say. Of course, in doing so, you fuck yourself because now you have to go through all that bullshit again. Because you come here, look, flashing vines, oh but wait, only a warg can climb that.
Why? He can climb that himself.
Arsenix, it's just like the small little stone tower that the lady climbed at the beginning of the level, alright? Of course he could climb it. He's got that huge fucking hook on the tip of his cross that he's been, sticking in things and wall climbing and rappelling and shit throughout the game, alright? It's just, look, bottom line, Gabriel Belmont is a selective individual. If it's not rectangular shape and glowing, he wants nothing to do with it.
I guess. That's a pretty fair way to look at it. I mean, I'd be distracted by shiny things, too.
If there's not some kind of QTE involved, Gabriel Belmont just doesn't know how to handle it. Case in point, look at this. We'll just QTE the shit out of these werewolves now.
It's so unfair. They don't have any QTEs.
The unfortunate thing is that for most of these minor enemies, that's really the better way to take them out. Because, number one, when you're involved in a QTE, you're invincible. None of the other enemies will attack you, and it's pretty much an insta-kill on whatever one you're grabbing. If you don't do that, you're in the middle of combat, you risk taking a lot of damage, and it's just, I don't know, it's just more motivation for QTE, man.
I will say that you took them out a lot faster than you would normally.
Yeah, and it's just, really I didn't want this to drag on anymore because we already had to backtrack to do that shit again. I do have an interesting point to point out, though, that when I fought the warg for the first time, your shadow magic, if you hit an enemy with your shadow magic, it actually stuns them no matter what, and no matter what their size, so that's cool.
Wait!
And then she jumps down, of course. Oh, but wait, no, look, there's a glowing rectangular ledge. We can't just ride the warg off into the pit. Gabriel decides he wants to take this one up on his own. Oh, yep, level end.
That was the worst one yet!
Why they made you go through that and actually start to rappel down instead of just ending it after the cutscene like a logical choice would be, I don't know, that's a good question.
Wow. That one caught me off guard. I'm never prepared for it.
Who is this strange girl? Surely she could not have survived alone in this hellhole. Gabriel follows her deep into the depths of the city. I wonder where she is leading him. It is strange. I hear no words, and yet it seems Gabriel is communicating with her in some way. Something tells me she has a part to play in all of this.
He said he was going to head off to the land of the vampires, but I think he's bullshitting us when he said that.
I was about to say, you're climbing back up after you were climbing down. Is that how the level's going to work?
I don't know. This is kind of a gimmicky level, actually. But not for that reason. First, we have another wall climbing segment here because, why not? That never gets old. Plus, get ready for it.
I'm kind of... Oh, I'm so bad at this!
Exactly, so the game just finishes it for you.
Wow!
You respawn. If you fail at that jump, you respawn, and the game automatically grabs the rappel point and flings you towards the ledge.
That's pretty awful.
Basically, Mercury Steam said, you know what, y'all are fucking dumbasses. Let's just, if you fail once, we're going to go ahead and complete the game for you. Lords of Shadow, QTE the movie.
It's not even QTE, it's hand-holding. The movie, the trilogy.
This is actually very easy to miss right here, and in order to get that other upgrade that you may have saw earlier as we were climbing down, you have to rappel off that wall instead of just dropping down, and then it leads you over here. It's very easy to miss your first time through.
I will say, that is pretty well hidden, considering this game.
Yeah. The upgrades are actually going to start getting a lot tougher to find, pretty much from this point on. Some of them are still out in the open, of course. Also, I don't know what happened there. Gabriel Belmont just kind of, randomly appeared on screen, but minor glitch there.
What was that blue thing?
All will be revealed.
I really don't believe you. What is this nonsense? Okay, you can flip. We get it. Can't you just walk like a normal person?
Did you see the size of that fucking gap, okay? And guess what? Another key puzzle.
You need two of them?
I need two of them. And that'll be, the reason for that will be obvious here. Now, the reason for the blue flame that you mentioned that spontaneously combusts, that scroll that we just picked up details this. And apparently the Denzians of the city, they used Gremlin guano to, power their shit. Well, pardon the pun, actually. But, yeah. That's what that is. It's burning Gremlin guano. And these little bastards, I hate these with a passion. They're quick. Those fireballs that they fling around do a lot of damage. And you're pretty much swamped by them whenever they show up.
Well, I mean, they're the masses of biofuel. They're ahead of their time.
Essentially. Also, another really well-hidden upgrade here. Plus, the thing of it is with the gremlins, if you grab them, you can QTE them. But if you do that, they explode shortly after, and the explosion will hurt you if you're too close to it, so you gotta be careful. It's like it's counterproductive for your QTE. Take a look here. Well, maybe.
Yeah, I see it.
Yeah. It takes a while for them to blow up, but still, when you're kind of crowded on all sides by them, it's hard to get away at times, which that's actually what the trial of this level involves, is that you have to beat the level without QTE grabbing any of them.
That's kind of weird for a trial, because that's kind of your major gameplay gimmick.
Yes, it is. And it sounds like it wouldn't be that tough so far, given what we've seen, but, you'll see. Also, look, we can't break the door down. Here, have a mount.
I take back anything good I said about this mount system. This is awful.
Well, it could be really cool if they did it right and didn't just, shoehorn it into fucking levels like they're doing. You know what I mean?
Why not get the Gremlins to do it for you? Toss some burning shit at the door.
I was just gonna say, also, if this shit wasn't, bullshit enough, have some Gremlins to wreck your shit while you try and fight the spider.
I like how it has to constantly remind you when it's stunned.
It does. It never stops.
Great.
At least I don't think it does. It might stop around like chapter 5. But yeah, pretty much for the next 2 or 3 chapters, just expect the on-screen prompts all the time.
I was afraid that the game would start showing me respect all of a sudden.
No way in hell. And,
right.
well, yeah, finally we got the second key. This level is pretty short, especially compared to the last one. We're just about... Actually, we're about 3/4 of the way done already. We're almost there. But before we leave, have about, 20 more gremlins that spawn.
They swarm you with these guys.
Yes. You can run away from them, but they'll follow you out to the main hall. So it's best just to take them in here, in the small space where you can actually have access to them.
Wow, they're just flying. They're like red armor from Super Ghouls and Ghosts, or any other one of those games.
Really, they are. If you're going to try and fight these things without grabbing them, the best way to do it that I've found is to use either... Well, it's to use either one of your launcher combos, which is to press the wide area attack and then jump immediately afterward, and it'll launch the enemies into the air, or your direct attack and launch. Anything else, and they're pretty much going to hang out in the air, and they're just going to dodge your shit, because they're really quick.
If only they did a little happy dance, just taunting you.
Also, Gabriel's so happy. More wall climbing!
I don't think his expression has changed as of yet.
Oh, just wait. You'll see. Also, there's another upgrade that's pretty well hidden here, and when I first played through, I thought this was the only way to reach it. Turns out there's actually a much easier way, but it's a lot harder to actually see.
Oh, I was about to say, how the hell were you about... How did you even see that?
Yeah, that's lots of trial and error when I first played this. This is the way you're actually supposed to get it. You can actually jump across into this dark spot here, which there's no inclination that you're supposed to whatsoever, but apparently you can. And that's how you're supposed to do it, so there you go. The more you know.
Well, I mean, it's a bit more obvious than just jumping into nothingness.
Well, I didn't think so. Also, we've got one of these neutral orb statues. Pretty much whenever you see these, you can pretty much guarantee that you're about to run into some type of enemy gauntlet. Case in point, look at all the fucking gremlins.
They're having a party and you're not invited. You don't have any gremlin shit on you.
Not yet.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, they're solving that. Look at that. And look at how much damage those fireballs do. And keep in mind that on Paladin, they do about twice as much. So, the trial for this level is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, that would take off about half your health.
Yeah. The thing of this is that there's no set amount that you have to kill. I think it's done by time that you just have to survive.
Did you see the power that resides within those crystals? The crystals can be really useful in combat. You can find crystal shards scattered all over the place. I often go in search of them.
How can I hear your voice?
I'm not moving my lips. I have the gift. I can also read minds.
Who are you?
My name is Claudia, and he is my protector. He looks after me. In return, I catch evil souls so that he can absorb their energy. Without it, he will stop working. But there's something different about you. You seem good somehow, so we won't kill you.
I'm relieved to hear it.
It's okay. Let me read your thoughts. No!
What is it? What's wrong?
You are here to kill the Lords of Shadow and take their power. You mean to save us all. And bring the one you love back. I am not afraid. We are coming with you. You won't make it on your own.
No, Claudia. I must do this alone.
I know the way. You don't. You need me. You need him.
Very well.
That was the most forced relationship I've ever seen, by the way.
Yeah, and by the way, for, wanting to do it on his own, she really had a hard time convincing him to take her along, right?
Did you see what she did? Why would you say no? Especially with the giant Lich King following her around.
Yeah, that actually plays a part, and they are completely fucking useless in the next update, but, that's the next update, you'll see. I want to point out I'm showing off the combos here. There's really no reason for me to do that. It's already been decided that we are going for the Jesus Ray, also known as the Holy Cross.
I am happy for this.
I am too, actually. It's very useful, and something that I've found that you can do with it, you can really glitch the fuck out of this game with that, if you do it in the proper spot.
Oh my.
It will make things interesting, and I intend to abuse the shit out of it to no end. I gotta add some entertainment in here somehow, fuck.
What is happening?
Well, we're on our way to defeat the Lords of Shadow. We ran into some kind of a mute lady and a iron golem. So? Of all things that have happened so far, you want to question that?
Well, yeah, because it just appeared out of nowhere. They didn't even have a real introduction.
Dude.
Why did she keep running if she wanted to join up with you?
No. I think the thing of it is that at first she thought we were just some evil dude, and she was luring us to the Iron Golem so he could, absorb our soul or whatever it was he does with it. And then I guess, we impressed her with our gremlin fighting skills or some shit, and she decides to save us. I don't know. It's convoluted. Slightly.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're almost done with Chapter 2, man. Let's see. We've only got one more stage. Proper stage, I should say. And then 2 boss fights. And that'll be it. Finally.
To be honest, I can't wait. I want to see something new happen beyond some convoluted nonsense I'll never understand.
Well, if you're looking for new, the first boss fight's going to disappoint you, but the second one is pretty cool. I will give it that. The final boss of this chapter is pretty interesting and fun to fight.
I do look forward to that, then.
Alright, man. I appreciate you joining me. Hope you all enjoyed, and we will catch you next time.
See you later.